Hello and welcome back. This is Hurler USA, and this is episode 23 of my King of Ruthenia playthrough. Looks like not too much is going on at this very moment. I think at the end of the last episode I finished up a war against Lithuania. Looks like I'm about to get going finally. Looks like I can make a duchy. It looks like I don't really need the duchy though. I already control everything in it. I think it would just make my vassals probably like me less, but so I probably won't make that duchy, but you never know. Since this is a game in review, sometimes I make foolish decisions. So I'm going to see if this guy wants to be my vassal. He does not, mostly because I'm not his de jure liege, which I think I may be pronouncing wrong. I think I read on the internet the other day. I'll have to look that up again. It's like, I don't know what I was doing there. Alright, kind of looking around at the surrounding territories. You can see my Kingdom of Ruthenia, the King of the Rus. And, let's see now. Trying to get my bearings. I was kind of interrupted by things going on in my house. So I haven't really gotten into much of a flow. Looks like I'm still trying to revoke the county of Gallic from one of my uncles, I believe it is, who would like to take over as King of the Ruthenians. Or I guess it would be King of the Ruthenians. I think that makes sense. I guess I'm looking over my vassals, looking over the ones that have low opinion of me, and I'm going to try to figure out how to get them to like me. And actually it looks like I'm quitting for the moment. Right back in with my next video. So that was a quick transition. And pretty much right back where I left off. I just recorded exiting and coming right back in. So here we are, back into the game. Looking at, oh yeah, this is when I remembered that since I hadn't played the game vanilla in a while, retinues had been invented actually since the last time I played. And I'm not too, actually I guess they weren't invented, I bought the DLC, correction. And I'm not too familiar with retinues, actually, because they're not actually in the Crusader Kings 2 Game of Thrones mod, so they're kind of like an extra thing that's pretty cool, but I don't really know too much about them because I mostly play the Game of Thrones mod. And looks like I'm looking at my troops, trying to get an idea of what my current troop composition is. It's like 250 light infantry, 590 heavy, 80 pikemen, 198 light cavalry, 91 archers. And it kind of appears that I looked at this for a while. Now I'm back, actually looking at the retinues again. Let's see, back at the levies. I guess I didn't get enough before. Alright. Really need to, alright, there we go, back in the retinues, looking at how much each of them cost. So there's a lot of different options here. We got the, there's one cultural retinue for the Russians, which I can pick. It's 250 heavy infantry. There's a couple of others that I can pick as well, just regular retinues that are available to pretty much everybody. They kind of vary. There's heavy infantry with bows, pikes with bows, horses with horses, bows with heavy infantry, etc., etc., etc. Looks like got a dangerous faction again. I actually thought it had gone away, but it looks like it's back now. So probably another reason to start upping the retinue count so that we're ready to go. Looks like I picked the one that's some bows and heavy infantry, 200 bows and 50 heavy infantry. The conjurer produced a rabbit from a hat, then made a handkerchief from a color from brown to red, and then he simply vanished from the room, only to knock on the door and open it seconds later. You must perform at the feast. The wandering minstrel entered the castle singing and did not stop until he found me. With a flourishing blow and one long sad tone from his lute, he finished his song and asked me for my patronage. You must also come to the thing. Grand Prince Vladimir II for Ruthenia. So it's my uncle who wants to be king. Grand Prince Vladimir II of Volnia. You are a thorn in my side, sir. The best part about preparing a feast is deciding what food to serve. I must purchase venison, boar, ducks, spices, wines, and ale, especially the ale. Honey for desserts. I can spend lavishly, which is only 20 gold, so why not? If that's lavish, that's an easy one. Most of the preparations for the feast have been made. Now I only have to send out the invitations. I'm going to invite all of those people. And we can only wait now. Most of them will probably decide they're coming, but I'm sure we'll get a few people that will tell me that they hate my guts and are going to refuse my call to a party, which seems like an odd choice on their part. And then Dimitri's no longer court chaplain for King Vassals. I guess that's my name. It's another tough one to pronounce. I should practice it. Looks like I'm picking myself a new chaplain. The guests have finally arrived. All is ready. Looks like I gotta figure out what to do with my chaplain now. Usually a good idea. I'm gonna have him research cultural tech, it looks like. The more wine Mayor Vyacheslav drank, the more and louder he talked and laughed, until he let out a loud snoring and fell face first into his plate. The servants directly removed Mayor Vyacheslav from the table and took him back to his bedchamber. That's disgusting. Guess he got a little too much wine and ale. Looks like I have 4 weak claims that I can press, which is quite a few. More than I normally have, I think. And there's my my current heir, and the 2s with the guys that would be pretenders after I would die. I made sure the most beautiful lady would be my dinner partner, and during the feast I kept refilling both our wine glasses. My charm and my winning smile made it impossible for her to say unresponsive. It didn't take long until she looked at me with more than interest in her eyes. Wow, a lot of pop-ups right here. So I could show her the bedchamber. It's my kinswoman, the Countess of Kiev, who's married to my uncle. So this one kind of seems like she might be more trouble than she's worth. The conjurer's magic tricks enchanted and charmed my guest at the feast. The women squealed with delight when he produced a rabbit from his hat, and the men laughed when he made my crown disappear, and then he found it under the jester's hat. The minstrel sang, and the ladies wept, and the minstrel sang, and the lords laughed. He performed at my feast. Looks like I'm actually reading it now in the game, so I guess I'll hold off and read the minstrel one. Give that back. Gain 10 prestige. Nice. The minstrel sang and the ladies laughed. The performance of my feast was above expectations. I congratulated myself for hiring him. Sing the ballad once more, and I gained some prestige from that too. Prestige is good. There's my heir, my son. Looks like he's quick. Some of my guests did not seem satisfied with the food, but I never thought one of them would have complained. Nice. Looks like Grand Prince Ilya of Gallic has decided that he does not like the food and complained loudly at the feast. So I now like him less and he likes me less. That'll be helpful in stabilizing the realm. Looks like those are we got 2 factions now. We got Grand Prince Vladimir II for Ruthenia, and I think it was Count Rostislav for Ruthenia as well. My little son, Prince Yevstafi, always has his nose in the scriptures and spends all his time among the priests. Such a bright child. Can gain the trait zealous, which I am probably guessing I didn't choose that one because I was pretty much trying to actually convert back to orthodoxy at this point. I'm not sure exactly how well, I think I know how my character converted. It was when I married into the Holy Roman Empire to gain access to the most powerful ally that I could find, and I think that my heir must have been infatuated by his new wife and converted to her religion. That must be what happened, I believe. Looks like this guy's still after me. He'd like to be king. I'm going to award him an honorary title, perhaps. Maybe that'll make him a little happier with me. Looks like I'm thinking about Master of the Horse. Yep, I'll make him my Master of the Horse. Oh, looks like another faction just popped up. We got Prince Illyria for Ruthenia now, too. Yeah, I think... interesting. So I'm trying to revoke the County of Gallic from Grand Prince Vladimir. But the one guy who's also got a separate thing is also kind of from Gallic. So it just seems to be a troubling area. And I've decided to give up on that plot because after a lot of time and really hadn't gone anywhere, and it seemed like it was probably just going to cause me more trouble than it's worth. Proxia, my dear half-sister, clearly upset, is reminding me of my promise to get her married. Oh no, I forgot. It's not like I have anything to do. I'm just trying to run this realm. I have just the person in mind. Let's see. So she could potentially marry this King Aragon, which I think would be cool. Looks like we're going to go with that. Yep, there you go. I still have not found someone good, but I have, and you should hear about it very shortly. I can still create that one duchy. I can press a de jure claim, and I still have a bunch of weak claims that I can press. This guy... Let's see, so I can press Calabria. Oh, I think these are in Italy, or this one is in Italy, the Duchy of Calabria. Yes. Alright, so things are going pretty well. Looks like I'm checking out this guy. He's Romuva, which is one of the pagan religions that gains a huge defensive bonus when you try to fight them, so they're not really uneasy. They're not great to fight against. At least that's been my experience so far. Take a lot of attrition when you go into their land, which is pretty terrible. It's a good way to lose a lot of troops really fast. Especially because I have dangerous factions in the realm. It's probably not a good idea to do too much fighting that I don't have to. It looks like my half-sister is going to marry this King of Aragon, so that should be exciting for her. She can now leave my court, and she should not bother me anymore. And there she is. Looks like, maybe she's just not quite married yet. I'm not sure. Looks like I've got, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of looking around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, trying to figure out, oh, one of my other sisters isn't married either. So I guess I'm trying to look and see if there's so I'm trying to invite her back to court. Her husband died, but she apparently didn't come back home. Checking out my other siblings. This is one of the guys that would like to become king, and I guess he kind of has a claim because he's my brother. Oh, that's trouble. Dear half-brother, may you live in harmony and contentment. I accept your gracious invitation and will come home. So my dear beloved sister is coming home. Rejoice. And now I can marry her off and send her back on her way. Although, unfortunately, it looks like, yes, I can get allies. I can become an ally with this Duke of Hungary, this Grand Duke of Navarra, which is way over there in Spain. This guy down here in Sicily. This guy up here in France. He's got pretty decent skills. Then we got this guy down here, the Byzantine Empire. He's the first Orthodox guy that we can find. Which might not be a bad thing to get more Orthodox in the family. We quit becoming Catholic. Which there's anything wrong with being Catholic. It's just as a Russian king, it doesn't seem right to me. So I'm trying to convert back to the true Russian faith of Orthodox. And we'll see. Looks like this guy has quite a few titles. He could be relatively powerful. He's pretty nearby. Looks like, yeah. So I need to go back to my sister and find him. That's one of the things I find with this game is that I accidentally click things and the interface isn't all that great. But here we go. So we've got, I guess I'm going to look them all over again. Count of Smolenski is a guy that we can choose. Sorted them by rank now. We've got this Greek guy. That might have been the one I was looking at before. Got this Strategos guy. He's a twin. He's gregarious. He's Orthodox, so that could be good. He has some claims. Claims can be good depending on how they fall. And still looking. Looks like I finally chose someone for, thank God. And then I'm going to educate this child. Alright, so he's educated. Checking out my heir again. He's actually getting pretty good skills. He got 10 diplomacy, 8 martial, 7 stewardship, 5 intrigue, and 8 learning. So, not too bad. He should be a capable heir. To the most excellent King Vassals, may you live in harmony and contentment. Is now of legal age. My kinswoman has become a detached priest. She's not so great skill-wise, but we'll probably try to marry her off anyways. See if I can get her a matrimonial marriage since she's one of my dynasty, I guess. Not sure why I would do that, since she's only a kin, and she's doesn't really look to be that close of a kin, but whatever. I guess the more people in the dynasty, the better, right? Just in case. Okay, hopefully this doesn't go on too long, or I may have to do an edit. Come on, let's just pick somebody good. Let's pick this guy. You gonna pick him? No? Alright, looks like I got a real message from somebody. Oh, call to arms. Dear brother-in-law, King Sack, so I'm gonna join this war. And I guess that'll be a good place to stop for the night. We'll see if anything goes on with that war in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. This has been Hurler USA.